Bradford Ferguson is yet another. Well, actually, he's the first one that I've been able to announce it with. Cern Bash will be on later tonight. We'll talk about it too. But Bradford Ferguson is one of the co-authors of the upcoming book on AI that Brian Wong and I are putting together, and we're looking forward to having you be part of that book.
Yeah, happy to contribute.
We're gonna describe who are going to be the winners and the losers in the AI revolution. I think there's going to be a few of each.
And it's about artificial super intelligence. So we're
Artificial super, yeah.
might be looking at things at the limit or maybe in between. We'll have to see. Uh, I need to check out the table of contents and pick my spot.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, so just to let folks know, we are looking for people to be readers, to read the finished product before it goes to press and give us your impressions and your recommendations for changes. Anyway, having said all that,
Is
um,
there an announcement about Grok as well or no?
is there an announcement about Grok?
Okay. I guess no. That's all right.
Oh, okay. Well, we've been playing around with Grok. I don't know about you.
We can talk a little Grok
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
later on.
Okay. All right. Okay. What I was going to start with today was going to be Uber. And I don't know, Waymo, no, Uber and Lucid putting together a partnership. Were you checking that out today?
It seems like a waste of time for Uber. Uh, yeah, I don't get it. I guess you could do luxury taxis, like Lucid could sell luxury taxis in Saudi Arabia or something like that, and they can run them in Uber.
Yeah.
Um, but seems like a limited market.
So it would be a niche. They would be taking a niche that they don't expect others to take. So that's not a horrible idea altogether as a luxury market. But Lucid,
Didn't the CEO of Lucid say like their best route isn't even to make the cars, it's going to be to license the technology?
something like that. In the meantime, Lucid was up 40% on the news. 40%.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
I hope AJ wasn't short that one. He goes in and out of shorting different uh EV or car makers. He's pretty good at it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
this might have been a good day too short after the announcement.
And maybe that's the AJ play. He's pretty
That might be
good.
the play. That might be the play. Well, we have a very big deal coming up between now and the next time that you'll be. Wait a minute, you're going to be floating up on the high seas next
Hmm.
Thursday. So I guess
Yeah.
you can't even be here next Thursday. You'll have your cell phone out because hopefully your cruise ship is going to have some kind of a link to
Starlink.
a link or something, so
Mhm.
that you can find out what happened at the earnings call next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to follow the markets while on vacation, but
Oh, no.
maybe an hour a day
An hour a day, just checking in.
while everyone else is sleeping.
All right. So what we're going to do then is you get to, since you're not going to, maybe be actually listening to the earnings call, we'll let you play Elon. All right. So you can decide what is Elon. Here's the questions that are up on say
Oh
right.
no.
The top questions on say. You might be shocked. I know you're probably going to be just totally, completely blown away that the number one question is robotaxi expansion timing. When will Tesla remove the safety driver? How many critical disengagements have we had per mile so far? That is the number one set of questions.
I think that's pretty good. I hope they're open and transparent about it. It'd be really good for investors to know. I think investors deserve to know.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think? Do you think we'll expand beyond the new expansion that Waymo expanded to today?
Yeah, I think I'm optimistic they'll engulf Waymo, but they need to get rid of the safety monitor for that. Like I don't think they're gonna have like 1,000 safety monitors and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Maybe they don't need 1,000 to cover a large area, but I got to think at a certain point, Tesla's going to want to really kick up the quality. So, like, having wait time, they expanded the service area, but I think their wait times also uh, expanded as well.
Right. Suggesting they don't have that many more cars
Yeah.
out and about. Yeah.
So I think they need to add cars or add a lot more safety drivers too. Right after the first week, they had a call out to hire people to hire more
Yeah.
drivers in Austin. So maybe they're getting trained, and hopefully there'll be a big batch and a big expansion.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that was the first question. You might be surprised that the second question was also where did it go here? Here we go. What are the key technical and regulatory hurdles that are still remaining for unsupervised FSD? So the unsupervised question, they ask another unsupervised question later. So the two would be together. When do we get to unsupervised, and what's standing in the way of getting to unsupervised?
I think this is a great question. Two great questions.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly support them. Yeah, let's get to the next one.
Oh, you're not going to give me any. I mean, because Elon has said by the end of the year, he's, you know,
Yeah, I think it would behoove him to say, what's going on. I don't think he'll get into specifics about the technical, what might be holding them back, but it personally I would love for him to say like we've identified a number of issues with our V13 software um and we've solved this one for Austin already, or these few for Austin, but we're our latest software that we're testing out internally has, solved all of them, but we're just ironing out some bugs. Like that would be my dream answer for him to say something like that.
something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would say now you drive a lot more than I do, and you drive, I think, more in city traffic. I drive more on freeways. What is your feeling right now? What is your own personal experience right now?
Well, let me also mention like regulatory hurdles.
Okay.
So, big question on is Tesla going to insure the car if they say it's unsupervised? I don't think they will, but I think it'd be good um, to have some commentary on that.
Okay. So you don't think they will, but
I don't think they'll do it for free to insure the car against
I,
accident.
but do you believe they'll be liable
Like, well, how can you have both? Like that I think the customer needs to be the one that takes responsibility for the property.
for the property? But what
Yeah,
about
for the car.
so you think that owners would have to actually sign a waiver
Yeah,
saying,
some kind of waiver
"Wow,
to be
okay,
able to run it as unsupervised.
wow, that's really interesting." Okay, because I'm not even sure
Yeah,
that.
I don't know why Tesla would take legal liability for the car.
I have this is just a
And
suspicion.
is that was the promise of FSD ever unsupervised? So if not, then they could have like an unsupervised upgrade to FSD.
So Tesla, of course, is already being sued
Mhm.
for mistakes that the car makes with FSD, even though it's still supervised. So I think that they're going to be sued no matter
Mhm.
what they decide. And I think I'm trying to, go back to my law school days, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be found liable. What lawyers tend to do is go after the deepest pockets and also go after anybody they can think of uh,
Yeah.
that might be responsible. So I have a suspicion they're going to be sued anyway. So would there be an advantage to merely finding a way to charge a little bit for that? maybe charge $50 a month or something to have unsupervised.
To handle any future lawsuits?
Right, right, right.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would make sense. I don't think I'm not sure unsupervised was a promise, or there may have been a number of years where unsupervised was like not a promise of the whole FSD thing. I don't remember it ever being in there, but I didn't read the fine print, so
Okay.
shame on me
Shame on
for
you.
for not reading the fine print on a car purchase.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there is this, I don't know, the wording, full self-driving. And there's been a few lawsuits about that over the years,
Mhm.
on multiple continents even. So I have a feeling, I don't know. I think most riders, most people that own a Tesla with FSD probably think they're going to get unsupervised at some point. And Elon actually said so just a few months ago.
Right, but he didn't say
Say for free.
what
Yeah.
that meant.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe there'd be a charge. I hadn't thought of that idea. Maybe a $50 a month. Most people probably be willing to pay it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm curious what it would be because car insurance is like 13 cents a mile. It could easily be like $1,000 every 6 months. And if you're a younger driver, it could be much more.
Right.
Um, so I don't, I'm not a lawyer, so probably not the best. You should get an accident, car crash attorney to come
Right.
on here.
I get Warren Redlick to come on the show again. Haven't had Warren on for a long time. All right. So next question was, what specific factory tasks is Optimus currently performing? And what is the expected timeline for scaling production to enable external sales? How does Tesla envision Optimus contributing to revenue in the next 2 to 3 years? Boy, that's a lot.
Um, I endorse this question.
You endorse that one as well. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vote for that. That's a good one.
So, do you think this is something that Elon, if this one does make it, do you think that Elon will give us any insight into the things that in the factory that might be the most likely for the Optimus to be doing?
I don't think it would hurt for him to say what Optimus is doing in the factory if it is doing useful work in a factory. I don't think it would hurt them to say like what types of roles it is. Like you're not showing a competitor video or anything like that. So I don't see why Elon wouldn't answer that. And I I'm also not sure that he's going to say what the bottleneck is for Optimus. He rarely identifies what the specific bottleneck is. Like
Mhm.
4680, what's the bottleneck?
Yeah,
We still don't know, and it's
right.
been
Right.
almost 5 years now since Battery Day.
Wow, 5 years since battery day. Holy mackerel. Okay, so all right. So the next question was, can you provide an update on the development and production timeline for Tesla's more affordable models? How will these models balance cost reduction with profitability? So what we had today was,
Good questions.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
this is what investors want to know, but also about costs and profit.
yeah, right. So we had the Model L and the Model Plus, the Model Y L and the Model S, no, Model 3 Plus announced
Mhm.
yesterday and today. So does that give us any hints into maybe I've said this on my show last night, but I'll just repeat it. Do you think we'll have a Model YS for short?
Uh, yeah. I don't think that'd be a great name for it, but the Model YS.
Right.
You
Um,
one benefit the Model Y does have, thinking about it a little more, is it's the best-selling car in the world,
right.
and that should have some name cachet. But people don't know. A lot of people who aren't into Tesla they'll look at a Model Y. They won't know that it's the Model Y.
Right.
Um, so it may help and that may hurt. I like the Tesla Q as the name
Okay. All right. That is a
because it's short.
yeah, and it's fun. And it's another letter. This one says, when do you anticipate customer vehicles to receive? That's the one I said, that unsupervised. Okay. Next one. Is there any news for HW3 users getting their retrofits or upgrades to HW4 or HW5?
Fair question.
Fair question. All right.
That's more like a customer question, and it's not really relevant to Tesla as an investment. I think it's I think it's understood that if Tesla needs to do that for the functionality, so that it can drive the full self-driving in a way that's comfortable and not like hesitant or however hardware 3 is compared to 4. If it can't reach that hurdle without an upgrade, I believe Tesla will make it right. And I'm guessing it's also going to be a hardware 5 board. So the 4 board almost sounds like floorboard, but the hardware 4 board unfortunately is larger than the board for the 3.
Mhm.
So they can't really retrofit that. Um, so they gotta either make a smaller board for the 4 or they need to just go with the 5. So I think if they're gearing up for the 5 anyways, that they would they may do that anyways.
So I'm driving HW3 and I see no problems with it. It doesn't do anything wrong. It's as smooth as can be, as human as can be. I haven't driven an HW4 yet to know if there's a big difference, but
Mm. So it
it's
doesn't hesitate pulling out.
no, well,
No.
it goes up, it stops, at the white line and then it moves
Yeah.
up and then it goes. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. The biggest criticism I've heard, and I don't know how recent it is, but people say it just hesitates too much.
I see. Yeah, I haven't driven it nearly as much on surface as I have on freeways, but
Mhm.
changing freeways, changing lanes, deciding the car in front is too slow and going around it, seeing a car behind it, going faster in the fast lane and moving over to let that car go by. I mean, it does everything exactly well better than I would because
Mhm.
I'm a tad aggressive, especially for an old codger. Yeah. So, so when I drive, I tend to be more aggressive than the car is. So I think also that there will be no reason necessarily maybe to upgrade people that weren't going to use it as a robotaxi. So maybe they would only upgrade those who are interested
Mhm.
in putting it out as a robotaxi.
Mhm.
That's
Interesting.
yeah. Next question. Have any meaningful Optimus milestones changed for this year? This is kind of like the last question, but more saying, okay, you've already given us your estimate. We were going to have a Legion, right? A Legion by the end
Mm.
of the year, 5,000, and 10 Legions by the end of next year. So that I think that's how I would word the question. Are we still planning to have a Legion by the end of this year and 10 Legions by the end of next year?
Yeah, I like that. If these are the questions asked, I'll be happy.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm curious like how Elon and the team takes it. Yeah, this last question, they might say, well, Travis Axelrod, the head of investor relations, may say, we've already talked about Optimus, so he
Oh,
may skip the question. So there's a slight risk of that, but I think it'd be if Elon doesn't cover that in his answer, I think that's a fair follow-up question.
there you go. There you go. And this is one that I wouldn't have thought to ask, but it says, how will the big, beautiful bill elimination of the tax credits for solar projects affect your sales pipeline for megapacks? So we just added a new factory to make megapacks. Do you think that this will impact the sales of megapacks, the fact that solar farms might be cutting back?
Not not meaningfully, no. There's just so much demand for Megapack. This should not impact it.
Yeah,
There,
the
there's this,
AI need is huge.
mhm. Yeah, they need them directly on the AI data centers sites. They need them directly there to help modulate the power because there can be really quick fluctuations in the server farm, and so you need to be able to turn on a dime, and the megapacks are great at that. And they got power electronics to handle the flow of the power. Um, but anywhere you have a burner plant, there's going to be the temptation to put in megapacks there so that your fossil fuel burners that what do they call it, peaker plants.
Bigger plants.
So those are used like 5 to maybe 10 days in the summer, and they're the most expensive power you have. So temptation is going to be to replace those with batteries, and then your main power, you're just going to run it harder on those days that you need the battery power.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right. So, with those questions as already on the list, is there
Hmm.
anything that you're hoping to hear next week that wasn't covered?
I'm going to think about that. I'll come back to it.
Okay, all right. Well, I was going to change from Tesla. No,
Okay.
you wanted to talk about AI. What did you want to talk about? Oh, Grok. You want to talk about
Hmm.
Grok in the car, Grok in the office, Grok at home. What part of Grok did you want to talk about? Oh, Grok
Yeah,
Companion. You probably
yeah,
want to talk
yeah.
about.
So we got Grok in the car. We got the Grok Companion. The Grok in the car has been very limited release. So like the original beta testers that tested FSD software. So it's in a very small
Right.
number of hands right now. Um, but right now it's push a button to talk. And Elon said they're gonna quickly change it where you can just say, "Hey, Grok," and talk to it. Um, or you can use the name of your companion, maybe.
Yes, yes, yes. I would think so. Yes. Hey, hey, Valentino.
What's a little funny about these companions is that when they whisper, it's just there's just something weird about the whispering. It's kind of funny. So there's one of the companions that's like a storyteller for kids.
Yeah.
And so so it was want to do like a bedtime story. That's its default programming. You turn it on, you talk to it. It's supposed to be for a bedtime story. But then I said to it, well, yeah, I don't want to talk stories. I want to talk serious adult stuff. And and then this made me laugh so hard. It started whispering. It started whispering its answer to me because it's like, okay. And I just was laughing hysterically.
Yeah. So I have only talked to the little anime lady so far.
Hmm.
As far as a visual. By the way, that was going to cost you money. You had to, pay your $30
Hmm.
yesterday, or 2 days ago when they first announced it. But now you can get it for free for a while. So if you're interested in talking to any of these characters, you can.
Hmm.
And so anyway, I talked to the little anime character last night, and it's funny for about 10 minutes, but unless you can, there must be some way to turn her off. I'm sorry, that's not the words I intended to use. There must be a way to turn down the flirtiness and the
Hmm.
the hyperbolic kind of actions, because otherwise it takes you like 4 times as long to get an answer, because she's like, well, honey, if you really, I mean, it's okay.
Hmm.
It gets a little much, but maybe there is a way. I should maybe go back and
You can, in the settings, you can set the personality, you can set the voice and personality so that it gives brief answers and things like that.
yeah, yeah.
Um, where it doesn't ask you a question at the end, or you can have it give you a verbose answer, whatever. But you can set some of those in the settings, and they may or may not work.
So since I talked to you last week, has your crew moved further along? I noticed today that that the that that website where developers can come on and get access to the various different models
Mhm.
through the website so that we can find out who's using what in developing. Well, Grok has gone to the top faster than any other model has ever gone to the top
Mhm.
of that competition.
Of developers
Developers,
using it,
yes,
or
yeah,
at least trying it.
right.
So that might it may be a spike and a fizzle. It's struggling a bit in coding.
Is it?
Uh, so developers uh, bare minimum wanted to try it out and see, okay, is it more accurate? And accurate means like that it's not going to make mistakes, or it's not going to go the wrong direction with a prompt when you pulled it to program something.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I expect the early activity be people checking it. I'm curious to see how things develop, because it's such a quickly changing space, and maybe people just aren't using Grok in the right way. I don't know, or maybe it's just not as good with coding, but it's good with all these other benchmarks.
Yeah, it was interesting that OpenAI immediately came out today with a tool package where you can add this tool package to what you're doing,
Hmm.
and that immediately boosted their scores on some of the competitions. But that Elon, of course, said that a better coding system will be coming. I think he said within a few weeks, and also tools within a couple of months. So
Hmm.
that I'm expecting that probably will do some good.
Now's a great time to try out these resources, this technology, and if you're in a business that has a lot of data, you can get your hands on your data and transform your data and get new uses out of um, that data. So you're not confined to the software that you're given from a software provider. You can make your own functionality. It's a really exciting time in the business world, especially business world with like text and communication, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the marketing people are going crazy. That's what my son does, and he's just like, it's just every day they've got some new tool that they can use for sending out emails or creating content online or whatever. It's become quite easy. Um, okay, on the economic front, unless there was more that I might have cut you off, was there more about Grok that you wanted to
I'll just reveal that our blog on rebellionaire.com/news, I think that's slash news, but you can go there and you can click on the news button. Or even the one on hffinancial.com. It's fully AI written, but it doesn't test out as AI written.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, so that's what you've been talking about. So you've got this new service. People can go in and check out the news. And is that financial only or all news?
No, it's just a blog each
Okay,
business day,
I see.
so it's on like something that's timely, and it's written in a style that's really enjoyable.
Okay. That I think is the thing that Grok does best. I mean, it shocks me how
Hmm.
good the writing is in terms of being fun, and you can amp it up or amp it down. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very impressed with that part. 100%. All right. So on the business front or on the economics front, the CPI came in a little warm on Tuesday,
Hmm.
but then the PPI came in dead flat for the whole first 6 months of the year. PPI is flat. And people who follow me on the channel know that I have done a huge study on PPI versus CPI across not only the United States, but across all countries. And PPI is not always a great predictor of CPI, but if it's completely flat, then I think you can probably at least do a little bit of estimating that CPI downstream is not going to at least be pushed up by the cost of the raw materials or the parts part of the CPI, because you still have labor, you still have transportation. There's lots of things that are not in the PPI that a factory or a distribution center and importer still have to deal with before it gets to retailers have to add in before they get to retail. So that's why PPI doesn't necessarily translate directly. But then the final straw was today. The import prices came in only 0.1% higher, and that also is now months and months of zero, basically, increase in the import prices. So the tariffs, where are the tariffs?
I'll agree. I agree with most of it. Allegedly, though, some consumer goods like clothing, um, consumer electronics, some other things were up around 10%. But it's great to see that everything else was flat. So the consumer may be in for a little bit of a shock soon with some of the prices, that stuff that's heavily imported.
Yeah, I think we'll see price increases, no doubt about it. And of course, my point all along has been you can have price increases for a million different reasons. It could be, the price of oil. It could be the price of containers from China during COVID. I mean, there's so many different things that can impact your final price. So, but so far anyway, what we're not seeing is any overall uptick in pricing
Mm,
or inflation, for that matter. A little bit of a higher inflation number for this month on the CPI, but that was primarily due to a difficult month of comparison for last year.
mm,
So it was a good month for inflation last year, which makes it harder to have a good month
yeah,
this year. So, but so Powell has been saying, why cut? Why cut? If jobs are good and inflation is flat, then just stay the course. Just stay the course. We don't need to cut the rates, but of course that means that we consumers are all paying the price if we're going to borrow any money, we're paying a higher amount to borrow.
that's true. Yeah, with borrowing. Yeah, I agree with that.
So for
Do you want
cost,
to talk about the surplus?
do I want to talk about? Yeah, that was really interesting, huh? Go ahead.
So I just found one of our blogs on HF Financial, and I'll just read the start of it.
Sure.
And what was funny is our Google was using our website as a source.
Oh, cool. Really? That's great.
So the title is the $27 billion surprise, what June's Treasury surplus says about tariffs, growth, and your wallet. Then it continues. What happens when the U.S. Treasury swings from a $316 billion deficit in May to a $27 billion surplus just 1 month later? You sit up, blink twice, and start asking questions. June's 2025's budget twist wasn't just some minor accounting fluke. It was a big, bold what if moment for investors, economists, and everyday taxpayer. The kicker, a big part of that surplus seems to be coming from tariffs. Yes, those controversial headline grabbing import taxes that most economists have long warned would do more harm than good. So, what does a treasury surplus actually mean? And why is this worth watching? Let's break it down. So,
Yeah.
it's fun to read through.
It is. I tell you, Grok is a great writer.
Mhm.
So, all right. So for me, it was like, it was like, okay, this is kind of what Trump has been saying. This is what Besant's been saying.
Hmm.
Didn't expect it this soon. But then all of a sudden it happened, and yet it was hard to find the mainstream press talking about it.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why you guys got Google to put it at the top of the page, is because
maybe
nobody else is reporting it.
everyone else was quiet about it.
Everybody, nobody else wanted to admit it. Nobody else wants to talk about it. I mean, if this continues, if we have a couple of 3 months, not necessarily even in a row, if it's kind of close, if it's
Mhm.
if the deficit
Yeah.
is not bad, if there's another month of surplus in there, and I mean, uh, I
Is
mean,
isn't it true a lot of the tariff payments start on August 1st as well? So
yeah,
like the real ones
yeah, right.
haven't really hit. So like the number from China in August is going to be wild. It is going to be wild.
So Besant thinks it's going to be around 25 billion a month, and that's about what
All of the tariffs?
all the tariffs is going to be about 25
Oh,
billion.
okay.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right.
now the
That's still 300 billion a year, so it's
300 billion
not
a year. Yeah.
not pocket change. I thought it would be bigger than that.
No, it's significant and important. And if it's
Hmm.
bigger than that, great. There is a point. I mean, right now I've done the math a million times, and the only way the math that I come up to is that manufacturing is about 30% of the economy. If our imports our worldwide imports of as part of GDP is only 15%, is 15% of GDP. So and people are thinking that or 14, I think it's 14%. And if your tariffs are going to average about 15%, 15 times 14 means you're going to end up with about 0.4% impact on inflation. So I don't know any other way to do the math. Uh, you know, that's assuming 15%. That's assuming that all of it comes through the consumer, which it won't, because it's already being picked up. We can see it's already being picked up by the producers. Some of it's being picked up, before it ever gets to our shore, and then once it gets here, we're already hearing that a lot of the importers and the manufacturers and wholesalers are eating some of it because they don't think they have the price elasticity to pass it along.
And you're talking about the goods sector in the United States being a third compared to services being 70%.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't
Yeah.
import a lot of services. We export a lot of services, but we don't
Mhm.
import a lot of services.
That's true.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. But it's really, really good news for the Besant Trump theory.
Hmm.
If it continues to play out this way um, over several months or multiple months, then the Republicans are probably going to be in office for a decade.
Yeah, whoever wins the Republican nomination is going to be like, well, I've asked Scott Bessent to serve as Treasury Secretary and Howard Lutnick as
Fed chair. Oh,
Commerce, but
Congress, yeah.
he kind of recruited the whole team, so or he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking pretty good. All right. So the Tesla is hanging out around 30 220 what I'm sorry, 320, I think.
Hmm.
Bouncing back and forth around 320, down a little today, up yesterday. So do we continue to be flat into earnings, or will there be some kind of a bold move by the markets before next Wednesday?
People thought the move yesterday was some like start of like a earnings run. So the stock really disappointed, being flat today.
Yeah.
Um, I have no idea, but generally my like when I'm on vacation, something really big happens in the markets. So like a big surge or big drop in the markets. Um, that's what tends to happen.
Yeah.
And so I'm flying out. I'm going on a trip the next couple weeks, so Won't be on Randy's show.
Oh no.
Gonna miss 2 Thursdays.
Was almost sure you were going to call in from the cruise ship. I mean, come on. We'd
Mm.
like to see
I
you.
don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
You could do it poolside. Do it poolside. Just have your phone, just like the, put your phone up. Well, yes, you'll be missed. Absolutely. I'll have to find somebody to take your spot. I don't know who would be willing to do that because, following you would be, the trouble, the problem, right?
I don't think
How
so.
about your partner? I can get your partner in here. Maybe he'd want to take a shot at it. I haven't had him on the show ever.
Yeah, maybe I'll reach out to him. He is wrangling the kids at night, but maybe you could do something at around 1 p.m. Pacific
Yeah,
the
early,
next couple of Thursdays.
yeah, earlier in the day. Happy. So yeah, reach out to him, see if you'd want to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, so you have no idea what's going to happen between now and then. Are you with most of the rest of the folks I'm talking to that think that Elon will be super enthusiastic, totally on, ready to go, giving us all kinds of good information, and then the stock goes like this afterwards?
Well, the didn't the stock have a positive reaction to the earnings call or seem to last time?
And also second quarter last year
Hmm.
when he was very enthusiastic and excited. And
Hmm. Yeah, that could happen. I love the questions. So you're not going to hear me complain about the questions, even if Elon doesn't answer them the way we want. So
I,
I'm curious how it goes. Should
yeah,
be good. And I think this is why Wall Street analysts are kind of forced to bag questions on that call. It's like so many questions get asked before they get to go.
I
But
can
then they don't ask like the really good questions.
I
Like,
can even ask the follow-ups. And if they call me, I'd be happy to give them really good questions.
mhm.
I have a whole list, long list of questions. All right. Well, any final thoughts in terms of the economy or Tesla before you go?
Yeah, robotaxi's real. I was down in Austin and for over 3 days I did 62 rides on it. It did great. No safety critical disengagements. They did disengage it once because the car was about to get on the highway and it's not allowed on the highway. So it's like some kind of little error with the geofence, but it did great. There were no lane decision errors, so it was in like the perfect lane. So I suspect that they've at least fixed that with the version they're using on robotaxis. And I'm just as curious as you to see when the safety monitors are removed and when we get version 14 or 13.4. Uh, very interested to see how it develops. Waymo did a shot across the bow today. They increased their service area to just about fully cover Tesla's service area, but then plus a lot more. So um, that should spur Team Tesla if they weren't already pretty motivated. I think they were motivated already, don't you, Randy?
I do, and I do think that was gauntlet throwing a throwing down of the gauntlet, and I certainly expect Tesla to respond, and I actually expect them to respond before the earnings call. So we'll see.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It's like now it's a Silicon Valley fight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in one city. So like this is exciting stuff now.
That's right. That's right. So Google's Waymo versus Tesla, the Magnificent Seven, duking it out, arm wrestling, trying to see who comparing hand size, all kinds of things.
Nerd fight.
Nerd fight. All right. Well, I'm going to put us on pause for a minute before I go to the numbers because it's almost 5 o'clock where I am. And why not just wait till 5 so that we can get the bond numbers too? So enjoy your cruise. Think of us often or not.
Will do.
All right.
Let's get right to the numbers.
So what we've got so far is we've got Tesla up 45 cents in the overnights, back up to 319.82. I would call that pretty close to 320. So not much movement there, as we've been pointing out. It's pretty flat this week. That run up yesterday didn't turn out to mean much. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the bonds. And let's go ahead. Here we go. The bonds are down 2.2 basis points in the pre-market at 44.41. So down is always good. Oil is up a penny, 67.55. No real comment there. I'm expecting that to come down, but it might be a couple more weeks as we get into August and back to school time. Natural gas down 0.45, sitting at $3.52, right in the smack dab in the middle of its range. Gold down all of 10 cents. I'm sorry, up all of 10 cents, like it matters. But we're no longer at 33.33. We're at 33.45. So we must have had some additional upward movement later in the day today. Silver ended up, right now it's up 0.28 at 38.41. So, but still well under the 39.5, I think, is where it got to. Copper sitting at $5.50 again, right in the middle, down 0.15%. The dollar has been gaining. Everybody's saying that there's some short selling, that are some shorts that have been taken out. And there is, some evidence of people jumping on the dollar because the bonds are higher right now. And we've got Bitcoin up 267, 119, 442. Then we go on to the equities. We've got the Dow up 0.18%, S&P up 0.12, NASDAQ up 0.12. By the way, that is for the S&P, that is certainly an all-time high. It closed at an all-time high today and now is going up even higher. NASDAQ has been nearly at an all-time high. I'm not sure, but it probably is very close as well. All right, so there you go. That's what we have for today. What you want to do for sure is watch the CERN Basher video coming up just in a couple of hours at 7:45, roughly California time. And CERN, of course, is always great. This is a particularly fun show and chock full of Tesla news and Tesla ideas, Tesla analysis. So be sure to see that. And then last night, which would have been Wednesday, Wednesday night was where we talked a lot about, Brian Wong and I talked a lot about the book, what we're going to do in the book, what we're trying to accomplish in the book. So if you didn't see that yet, I'll put the card up right here for you to go back and check that out. Other than that, I think that's all I've got for you right now. So I'm going to say it's been great talking to you.